The Galactic observation hall was full of soft noises, screens humming, data flowing, and quiet laughter. Another new planet had appeared on long-range sensors. A blue world. Water everywhere. Clouds moving slowly across the surface. The aliens watching the screens were not impressed. "This one looks harmless," said an analyst. "No shields. No orbital weapons. No energy storms." The file opened. Planet name, Earth native species, humans. The images zoomed in. Small creatures walking on two legs, soft skin, no armor, no claws, no fangs. "They look unfinished," one alien joked. "Why would nature make something so weak?" More laughter filled the room. Humans needed machines to fly. Machines to survive cold. Machines to leave their planet. Without air, they would die in minutes. "Atmosphere-dependent species," the lead observer said. "Very fragile." The council barely cared. Still, protocol demanded a full planetary scan. The AI began its work. Gravity, normal. Radiation, low. Magnetic field, stable. Nothing special. Then the scan reached the atmosphere. The AI paused. For the first time in decades, the system stopped processing. The screens flickered. "Error?" someone asked. "No," the AI replied calmly, rechecking data. A few aliens laughed again. "Machines fail sometimes," one said. "Like this species." The AI finished recalculating. The main screen changed. Oxygen level, 20.9%, the room filled with louder laughter. "That is impossible," an alien scientist said. "Oxygen is toxic." Another nodded. "At 5%, it damages cells. At 10%, it burns tissue. At 20%. He shook his head. "Nothing should live." The AI spoke again. Data confirmed. The laughter stopped. A senior scientist leaned closer to the screen. "How long has the planet held this level?" The AI answered. "Approximately 300,000 local years." Silence spread through the hall. A junior observer whispered that air should have killed everything. The images changed again. Forests, animals, cities, life everywhere. The scientist's voice dropped. "Scan human biology." The AI obeyed. New data appeared. Human cells used oxygen. They needed it. They burned it inside their bodies in a slow, controlled way. Internal fire. The hole grew cold. "They breathe poison," someone said quietly. "And live because of it," another replied. The lead observer felt unease for the first time. "Run danger models?" The AI processed for a moment. "If humans enter a standard galactic environment," it said, "their respiration will cause severe biological damage." The meaning was clear. Human breath alone was dangerous. Every inhale, every exhale. The Council changed Earth status immediately. Planet classification. Extreme biohazard. Not because humans were aggressive, but because they existed. Then another alert appeared. "Attention," the AI said. "Humanity has launched exploration vessels." The room froze. "How many?" the observer asked. "Multiple probes. Several crewed ships." "Several crewed ships." One alien swallowed hard. "Those ships carry oxygen." The implication hit everyone at once. Human ships were moving hazards. Not weapons. Worse. The observer stared at Earth's image. "This species is not weak," he said slowly. "They are adapted to a world that tries to kill them every second." The Council watched as a small human ship moved away from Earth. Carrying fire in its lungs. And the galaxy was not ready. The human ship was small by galactic standards. No heavy armor, no glowing weapons, no signs of power. It drifted slowly toward Valor Station, a neutral trading hub where dozens of alien species lived and worked together. Inside the control room, station officers watched the approach. They looked peaceful, one said. Too peaceful, another replied. The docking requests came through. A simple message. This is Earth Vessel Dawnseeker. We request peaceful docking and first contact. The station commander hesitated. Humans were new, strange, unclassified. But no rule forbade them. Grant docking, the commander said. The clamps locked onto the human ship. For half a second, nothing happened. Then every alarm went off at once. Red lights flashed across the station. Atmospheric breach, biological hazard. Unknown contamination, what is happening? The commander shouted. Technicians ran to their screens. Oxygen spike detected. Levels rising in Dock Bay 4. It's coming from the human ship. Before anyone could react, alien workers near the dock began to fall. One collapsed to the floor, gasping. Another screamed as his skin darkened. A third stopped moving entirely. Medical drones rushed in, sealing the area. The docking bay locked down. Inside the human ship, the crew felt nothing. Captain Elias Moore frowned at his console. Why did they cut the feed? He asked. We followed their docking rules. His crew looked nervous. Captain, do you hear alarms? Moore nodded. Open a channel. The screen flickered. The station commander appeared, his face tight with fear. Human vessel, he said sharply. Your ship is releasing a lethal substance. Moore blinked. Lethal? He looked at his crew. Our air? The commander's voice shook. Yes. Your atmosphere is killing my people. Silence filled the human bridge. That's impossible, Moore said slowly. It's just oxygen. The words sent a ripple of panic through the station. Oxygen? The commander shouted. Seal your vents immediately. Moore acted fast. All right. Shutting external circulation, he ordered. Now. The flow stopped. The oxygen spike stabilized. But the damage was already done. In the medical wing, doctors fought to save the injured aliens. Cells were breaking down. Organs were failing. This is chemical damage, one doctor said. Like slow-burning fire inside the body, another whispered. They weren't attacked. They were poised. One alien survived. Barely. He lay inside a sealed chamber, breathing pure inert gas. His body trembled. Log everything, the chief medic ordered. This changes everything. Back in the command hall, emergency meetings began. Humans were ordered to remain inside their ship. Force fields surrounded the dock. Weapons systems powered up. The station commander addressed the council. The humans are not hostile, he said, but their existence is dangerous. Screens showed simulations. Human cities releasing oxygen. Human ships traveling between stars. Human colonies spreading breathable air. Every scenario ended the same way. Alien death. They are walking hazards, one council member said. Not by choice, but by nature. Another replied. They don't even know it. Inside their sealed ship, Captain Moore finally understood. His voice was quiet. Our air. It hurts them. One crew member swallowed. So what are we to them? Moore looked at the force fields outside. We're a disaster waiting to happen. The Council sent its decision. Humans were not allowed to leave containment. No physical contact permitted. No shared atmosphere. First contact had failed. Or so they thought. In the medical wing, a scientist stared at new data. The surviving alien cells were changing. Repairing faster than expected. She frowned. That's strange. She leaned closer. Controlled exposure slowed the damage. Then reversed it. The room went quiet. Run the test again, she said. A dangerous thought formed in her mind. What if oxygen was not only poison? What if it was also power? Far away, inside a sealed human ship, Captain Moore waited. Unaware that fear was slowly turning into curiosity. And that humanity's breath might change the galaxy forever. The medical wing of Velis Station was sealed tighter than a war vault. Only authorized staff were allowed inside. Behind thick transparent walls lay the alien who had survived human air. Barely breathing, barely alive. Doctors watched his vitals in silence. This should not be possible, the chief medic said. His cells were exposed to oxygen. He should be dead. A younger scientist adjusted the scanners. Cell damage has stopped, she said slowly. Actually, it's reversing. The room went still. That's impossible, another doctor replied. Oxygen destroys biological tissue. The scientist swallowed. Then why is he healing? They ran the scans again. And again. Each time, the same result appeared. Damaged cells were rebuilding. Energy levels were rising. Wounds were closing at unnatural speed. Only one condition made it work. The oxygen had to be controlled. Tiny amounts. Perfect balance. Too much and it burned. Too little and nothing happened. The chief medic leaned back, shaken. We've called this substance poison for 10,000 years, he said. And now it's acting like medicine. Word spread fast. Within hours, the Galactic Council reconvened. Emergency lights glowed above their seats. The humans are a biological threat, one member argued. The station was nearly lost. Another replied, but their atmosphere saved a life. Screens showed the medical data. No tricks, no errors. Real healing. This changes everything, a council elder said quietly. A military advisor slammed his clawed hand on the table. Or, it makes things worse, he snapped. If humans control this substance, they control life and death. Fear filled the chamber. Fear of humans. Fear of dependence. Fear of losing power. Inside Dock Bay 4, the humans waited. Days passed. No contact. No answers. Captain Elias Moore paced inside the ship. They won't talk to us, a crew member said. They're scared. Moore nodded. We would be too, he replied. If someone's breath could kill us. Dr. Hannah Reyes, the ship's biologist, stared at her tablet. Oxygen is everything to us, she said. But to them, it's fire. Moore looked up. Then why did that alien survive? Reyes hesitated. Because fire can heal. If you control it. Finally, the council allowed a limited meeting. No physical contact. No shared air. Only holograms. The chamber filled with tense silence as Captain Moore's image appeared. You are dangerous, the council speaker said bluntly. Your presence alone causes death. Moore did not argue. We never meant harm, he said. We didn't know. The speaker continued. One of our citizens survived exposure to your atmosphere. The humans froze? He lived. Dr. Reyes asked. Yes, the speaker said. And he is recovering faster than expected. Reyes leaned forward. Because oxygen repairs cells, she said. When used carefully. The council murmured. You admit this substance is dangerous, the speaker said. Yes, Reyes replied. But danger and value are not the same thing. Silence followed. Then one question cut through the room. Can humans control it? Moore answered without hesitation. Yes, we've done it our entire history. The council ended the meeting quickly, but the damage was done. They could no longer ignore humans. Humans were not simple beings. They carried a force the galaxy had feared for ages, and they had mastered it. Back in the medical wing, doctors began new tests. Tiny oxygen doses, careful exposure, constant monitoring. Results shocked everyone. Healing times dropped. Energy output increased. Cell decay slowed. A senior scientist whispered, "If this spreads, nothing will be the same." The council issued a temporary ruling. Humans to remain in quarantine. Further study approved. All oxygen research classified. To the galaxy, humans were now two things at once. A threat and a miracle. Captain Moore looked out at the sealed station through thick glass. They're deciding what to do with us, he said. Dr. Reyes nodded. They're deciding if we are monsters or a gift. Far above, council members argued late into the cycle. Some wanted humans removed forever. Others wanted their heir. All of them feared the truth. Humans did not bring weapons. They brought an atmosphere. And the galaxy had just learned to breathe it carefully. The decision came quietly. No grand announcement. No public vote. Just a sealed message from the Galactic Council. Limited experimentation approved. For the humans trapped inside Vela Station, everything changed. Captain Elias Moore read the order twice. They're allowing tests, he said slowly. Medical tests. Dr. Hannah Reyes let out a long breath. So they finally admit it, she said. Oxygen is not just poison. Still, the rules were strict. Humans were not allowed to walk freely. No shared air. No direct contact. Every experiment would be done through barriers. Carefully, slowly. Because one mistake could mean death. In the medical wing, preparations began. The alien patient who had survived human air watched silently from his chamber. He was stronger now. His wounds had healed faster than any doctor could explain. Chief Medic Talrix studied the data. We will try again, he said. On a controlled subject. The subject was a young alien. A child. Her organs were failing. Standard medicine had stopped working. She had hours left. The room was tense. If this fails, one doctor began. It already has, Talrix replied. This is our last option. A small oxygen capsule floated into the sealed chamber. Not human air. Filtered, measured. 1%. The doctors watched the child's vitals. At first, nothing happened. Then her heart rate steadied. Energy levels rose. Damaged tissue slowed its decay. One doctor whispered, "It's working." They increased the oxygen slightly. 2%. The child's breathing became easier. Cells began repairing themselves. The room filled with shock. For the first time in recorded history, oxygen was saving alien life. News spread fast. Too fast. Across Vela Station, whispers grew. The humans cured someone. The poison heals. The air gives life. The council panicked. This information must be controlled, one member said. If the galaxy learns this, chaos will follow. Another replied, or hope. They argued late into the cycle. Fear against need. Control against progress. Finally, the council reached a fragile agreement. Humans would assist, but only under supervision. Only in sealed environments. Only when approved. Humans were still dangerous. But now, they were useful. Captain Moore stood inside the ship's observation room. Through the glass, he watched doctors celebrate quietly. "They're smiling," one crew member said. "I didn't think they could smile." Moore nodded. "They're seeing the future," he said, "and it scares them." Dr. Reyes joined him. "We did this by breathing," she said softly. "No weapons, no threats." Moore looked at her. "And now they'll want more." She didn't deny it. Within days, more tests followed. Burn wounds healed faster. Energy failures stabilized. Aging cells slowed their decay. All with one condition. Oxygen must be controlled. Unfiltered exposure was still deadly. The council named the process regulated oxidative therapy. A new field of science was born, and at its center, humans. But not everyone was pleased. Military advisors raised concerns. What happens if humans cut supply? What if they use oxygen as leverage? Trade leaders whispered about power. He who controls oxygen controls survival. Fear returned. Stronger than before. The council ordered increased security. Human areas were guarded. Monitoring systems doubled. Trust had not arrived. Only need. Late in the cycle, Talrix met with Captain Moore through a hologram. "You saved the child today," Talrix said. Moore shook his head. "We just shared what we breathe." Talrix studied him. "That may be the most dangerous gift in the galaxy." Moore's expression darkened. "We don't want power," he said. "We want understanding." Talrix replied quietly, "Power does not ask for permission." On Earth, humanity had always feared the stars. Now the stars were afraid of them. Not because humans fought harder, but because they lived where others could not. Back in the council chamber, a single line was added to humanity's file. Status, conditional asset, not allies, not enemies, something new, something unstable. As the child in the medical wing opened her eyes for the first time in weeks, the galaxy took its first careful breath of human air, knowing that once you depend on poison, you are never truly safe again. The change did not happen all at once. At first, only Vela Station used regulated oxygen therapy. Only for critical cases. Only under strict control. But word spread faster than the council expected. A burn victim healed in days. A failing reactor stabilized. A dying crop revived. Every report carried the same truth. Human oxygen worked. Soon, requests began to arrive. Quiet, at first, private, and disparate. Medical guilds asked for small shipments. Energy councils asked for tests. Agricultural worlds begged for help. The Galactic Council tried to slow it down. Too dangerous, they said. Too unstable. Too much power in one species. But people were dying, and humans had what could save them. Inside Vela Station, Captain Elias Moore watched supply ships come and go. Sealed containers. Layered shields. Warning symbols glowing bright red. Oxygen shipments authorized for export, the AI announced. Moore frowned. "They're moving fast," he said. Dr. Hannah Reyes nodded. Faster than trust grows. Human engineers worked day and night. They built filters, stabilizers, Control units. Human air was no longer just air. It was a product, a resource, a lifeline. Across the galaxy, the effects were immediate. Hospitals improved overnight. Energy shortages eased. Aging populations lived longer. Entire systems began to rely on oxygen shipments. And with reliance came fear. In council chambers far from Velis Station, voices rose. What if humans stop the supply? What if Earth uses oxygen as control? What if they already are? Military leaders demanded answers. They carry a weapon in their lungs, one general said. We cannot allow dependence. Trade lords argued back. Without them, billions die. The council split. Fear on one side. Need on the other? On Earth, the news arrived slowly. Human leaders watched alien requests flood in. They saw the numbers. They understood the power. Earth's atmosphere was no longer just home. It was currency. Precedent-level meetings filled with tension. If we give too much, one leader warned, we lose control of our planet. If we give too little, another replied, the galaxy turns against us. No easy choice existed. Back at Velis Station, Captain Moore sensed the shift. Security doubled around human areas. Surveillance increased. Conversations stopped when humans entered rooms. They don't see us as guests anymore, a crew member said. Moore nodded. They see us as a resource. Dr. Rias looked worried. Resources get controlled, she said. The breaking point came during a council session. An Outer Rim world reported a crisis. Their oxygen shipment was delayed. Thousands were dying. The council demanded immediate delivery. Human representatives hesitated. Shipping too fast risked accidents, leaks, deaths. This is blackmail, one council member accused. You control life. You choose who lives. Captain Moore stood through hologram. You're trying to be careful, he said. Oxygen kills if mishandled. Then teach us to handle it, another replied sharply. Or step aside. The words hit hard. Step aside. Let others control it. The room fell silent. That night, Dr. Reyes found Captain Moore staring out at the stars. They're afraid, she said gently. So are we, Moore replied. They depend on us, she continued. And they hate that. Moore clenched his jaw. We never wanted this. Reyes looked at him. Fire never asks if you want to use it, she said. Once discovered, it changes everything. Whispers began to spread. Some species experimented in secret, trying to copy human oxygen systems, trying to remove humans from the process. Most failed. Some ended in disaster. Entire labs burned from uncontrolled reactions. Oxygen did not forgive ignorance. The council tightened control even more. Human access was limited. Movement restricted. Permissions delayed. Trust was gone. Only need remained. The Galactic Council issued a new classification. Humanity. Strategic dependency risk, not enemies, not allies. A danger too valuable to remove. Captain Moore read the update in silence. They're planning something, he said. Dr. Reyes nodded. When fear and dependence mix, she replied, someone always tries to take control. Far away, on countless worlds, aliens took their next careful breath, breathing human air, living because of it, and quietly wondering how long before they no longer needed humans at all. The Galactic Council chamber was silent. No arguments, no shouting. Only fear. Every member knew the truth now. The galaxy could not live without human oxygen, but it also could not control humans. Easily, reports filled the central screen. Secret labs, destroyed by oxygen fires. Illegal experiments ending in mass deaths, black market oxygen leaking into unsafe worlds. The Council had tried to copy humans. They had failed. Oxygen was not simple. It required understanding, discipline, and respect. Things humanity learned by surviving Earth. A senior council member finally spoke. "We are losing control," she said. "The more we depend on humans, the more dangerous they become." A military commander answered. "Then we remove them." Gasps spread across the chamber. "Impossible," another replied. "If humans stop oxygen exports, entire systems collapse." The truth cut deep. Humanity had leverage. Not because they wanted it, but because they existed. Captain Elias Moore stood before the council as a hologram. Older now, tired. "You fear us," he said calmly. "But we never threatened you." A council member snapped back. "You don't need to threaten us. You breathe." Moore did not deny it. "Earth did not choose oxygen," he said. "We adapted to it. Like you adapted to your stars, your gravity, your energy." He paused. "You see poison. We see home." The room stayed quiet. Dr. Hannah Reyes stepped forward. Her voice was steady. "You tried to control oxygen without understanding it," she said. "That's why people died." She looked directly at the council. Oxygen is not power. It is responsibility. Some council members looked away. Others listened. The council retreated to vote. For hours, nothing happened. Outside the chamber, oxygen shipments were delayed. Hospitals waited. Worlds held their breath. Finally, the doors opened. The council speaker returned. Her voice echoed through the hall. "Humanity will not be controlled," she announced. Murmurs spread. "Nor will humanity control the galaxy," she continued. Silence followed. The decision appeared on the screen. Final classification. Humanity, extreme environmental survivors, not weapons. Not gods. Not monsters. Survivors. The ruling was clear. Oxygen distribution would be shared. Knowledge would be taught, not owned. No species would hold total control. Humans would guide, not rule. The galaxy would learn to handle poisons slowly, carefully. Together. On Velas Station, humans were finally released from full quarantine. Still sealed. Still cautious. But free to walk. Captain Moore stepped into a shared observation dome. For the first time, aliens stood near him, separated by thin fields. Watching stars together, an alien child passed by. The same one saved by oxygen. She looked at Moore, then smiled. It was awkward, different, but real. On Earth, the skies remained blue. Oxygen still filled the air. Humans went on with their lives. Breathing. Living. Unaware that every breath was a reminder of survival. Earth had always been dangerous. Storms, fire, disease, poison in the air. Humanity did not escape it. They learned to live inside it. In the final council report, a single sentence was added to galactic history. Humans were never weak. They evolved where life itself was hostile. The galaxy had feared claws, feared weapons, feared fleets. But the most dangerous thing it had ever met was a species that called poison air. And lived anyway.